Hi, I'm Greg Dell, and today I'm here with Cesar Gavidia. How are you, Cesar?
I'm well, Greg. How you doing?
Good. And today we're going to talk about a topic that we don't usually speak about, but it involves the payment of premiums on a disability insurance policy. And does it matter whether the employer is paying the premium or whether the employee is paying the premium? And why is this even relevant? So I know there's some cases you've been reading about this, and you have some good advice for people about this topic. So what should people know?
Yeah, and Greg, actually, we see this come up frequently. Usually it's not a major issue. There's no, concern on our part about it because we may get a call. The claimant has been insured under their group disability insurer through their employer, and the employer's been paying the premiums. That's just how their system works. There's no question about it.
Right.
It's clean cut.
That's
the norm. We know that those cases are most likely ERISA cases, and there's no dispute over what, if the claim is being challenged, what law is going to govern there. But where you get into this kind of gray area is when we get a call from someone who has these individual disability policies through companies like Unum or Guardian or Principal, any one of these carriers that really specialize in producing these individual policies and selling these individual policies. And the claim's being disputed, and we sometimes have to go to litigation and sue them. And we sue them for breach of contract because we're looking at this policy and what this policy is, and it'll state it very clearly in there. This is a contract between the insurance company and the insured, who is the claimant, who's our client. And then, as we start getting into litigation, the insurance company, as a legal tactic and strategy, will try to say, well, the premiums here weren't actually paid by the insured. They were paid by the employer, or they were deducted from their payroll, and because of this method of paying the premiums, this is governed by ERISA. All right, so the claimant may think, well, who cares? I mean, these are benefits I'm due. I'm still going to recover my benefits, and I want to sue them for bad faith, and I want to sue them for punitive damages and all the aggravation and distress they put me through. But unfortunately, if the claim is, and we've talked about it many times in many of our videos, if the claim is governed by ERISA, you're not going to have those damages. All you can recover are those benefits. So it's a very it's a strategy that the insurance companies employ that can be catastrophic to your claim if it's determined that these policies are governed by ERISA. So how do you avoid this? Obviously, once you get to the stage where your claim is being contested and challenged and we're in litigation, there's really not much we can do at that point except to argue that these policies aren't governed by ERISA for one legal reason or another.
Right.
But if you're a physician or if you're a person out there with these own occupation individual policies and you're paying these premiums, say, through your practice, okay, and these premiums are being paid out of by the practice itself and not by you or coming out of your salary, well, that could be dangerous if you ever have to file a claim, and you may want to consider changing that. You may want to consider either paying those premiums personally yourself, okay, or doing some sort of salary allotment where it's coming out of your paycheck post-tax, right. Okay. Or even as a business expense, because in those cases usually they're clearly not ERISA.
Right.
But this is something we've encountered time and time again, and it's an issue we're even dealing with currently in a case, and that's something that claimants should be aware of to just avoid these headaches and personally losing hundreds of thousands of dollars in the future.
Right. So the message is that if you have the opportunity to pay the premiums on your own, go ahead and pay them.
Absolutely.
Because, number one, you have a good chance of getting it outside of ERISA. While there's many factors as to whether or not ERISA governs, usually if it's an individual policy and you're paying on your own, you're going to be outside of ERISA.
Right. And there's a lot of good decisions out there, a lot of good case law that I've found, that we've researched and we've looked at, where the judges have made the right decisions in these cases, but there's a lot of bad case law out there too, mm-hmm. where the federal judges just have looked at it and said, oh, wait a second, this is being paid by the practice or by the employer, and it's clearly ERISA in my book.
Right.
And that's those are those cases that these insurance companies rely on, and they rely on it because it saves them millions and millions of dollars every year.
Right. Okay, and then the other thing that's important about paying the premiums is whether they should use pre-tax dollars or post-tax dollars.
Right.
And we know that if you use post-tax dollars, meaning you paid tax on the money, and then you use that money to pay for your premiums, that your monthly benefit should be non-taxable.
Right.
And that's huge, because getting the benefit taxed versus getting it non-taxable is a no-brainer. You get a lot more money, obviously, if it's not taxed. So if you have a disability claim and you have any questions whatsoever, whether it's application, continuance of claim, or denial, feel free to give any of us a call. We're happy to answer any of your questions, and we'll let you know right away whether or not we can assist you.